Hi, this is Tony here from Regular Guy Climbing. I'm once again practicing in my basement, practicing my setup, testing my devices, my equipment, so that when the snow finally melts and it finally gets warmer here in Montreal, Canada, I'll be ready and confident to go out to the crag and do some rock climbing. So I have a little setup here. I have a previous video that will show you how I set up a top rope anchor here as a practice in my basement. And I also have another video that will show you how I practice rappelling with a backup device. So very important, I think, to always back yourself up. And in this video, I'll share with you, because that's all I'm doing. I'm not teaching anyone. I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing. I'm just a regular guy that recently got back into rock climbing, and I just love it. And it's my passion. So I just want to share it with the world, share with you what I learn and what I do. So one of the things that I'll be doing this summer or this spring is solo top roping. So I'm not talking about free soloing. I'm not gonna do like Alex Honnold, but I do want to go to the crag and set up a top rope and climb by myself. I don't necessarily always have a partner, or I don't want to have to rely on a partner if I want to climb something that's higher than a boulder problem. So I will go to the crag, fix up my anchor, rappel down or hike down, and then I will climb basically. So for that I will be using progress capturing devices. So the first one, my main device will be the Shunt by Petzl. I really like the Shunt. I think it goes very well. It works very well, and it's very easy to operate, and it can be used on 2 ropes, so just not 1 rope. And my backup device will be the Petzl again, the micro traxion. So I figured out something. Obviously, that's why I like to do those, test setups and set up everything and do experiments and touch my gear in my basement before I go out to the crag. I was going to do like a regular old-fashioned top roping with a belayer, setup where you clip, maybe the middle of your rope into 2 carabiners and it slides like this so that your belayer can belay you with one end of the rope. And if I was only using the Shunt, it will be fine, because if it blocks, it will block both ropes like that, so there will be no sliding. But the problem is that I want to be backed up. I want a backup device, and my backup device only uses 1 rope, a single rope. So if my Shunt breaks or malfunctions, this is why I have a backup. So let's say that my Shunt is gone in this scenario, and now I'm only relying on my mini traxion. Well, guess what? I'm going to fall right to the ground because the rope is blocked, but gravity is obviously stronger and it makes the rope slide, and I'm going to fall to the ground. So my backup is useless in this scenario. So I'm going to do things differently here. Stay with me, and I'm going to skip ahead, and I'll be attaching both ends of the rope through loop them and clip them onto both carabiners with a double 8 knot. So we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so now you see that the way the rope is attached to the carabiners here, to the anchor, is very different. We're not sliding through. We have the two ends of the rope that are attached to the anchor individually using a double 8 knot, which we all know is very, very solid. So I think this is a super legit setup. especially because of, the anchor itself is very solid, but the way I attach my rope, or I could even say my ropes, because it's the equivalent of using two separate ropes, which is also an option, but here I'm using just one rope. So obviously the thing that I'm going to be climbing, if I want this setup to be possible, the thing that I'm going to be climbing has to be not higher than half the length of my rope, obviously. Hope that makes sense. What you don't see also is that I attach some weight to my rope. So down here I have a backpack that has like my shoes and the water bottle that is attached to the end of the rope, because you need some weight to anchor down, to pull down the rope, so that when you climb up, you don't lift the rope and your devices, your progress capturing devices, can slide through the rope very easily. So I decided that my shunt has, like I mentioned before, has the ability to use two ropes. So I clipped, why not use two ropes? So I clipped the shunt, clipped into the two ropes. So that will be, like I said, my main device. And now my traction here that is only installed on one rope, well, if all of this fails, I still have that, like I'm pulling on one rope and it's static, quote unquote. It's not a static rope, but the setup is static. So I'm safe. So I'm pretty sure that's how I'm going to do it. And now I want to show you how I'm actually going to be climbing. So I'm making myself a little chest harness for the main device. It doesn't have to be a climbing sling, because this is not going to bear any weight. Let me try to explain that. There's also something I figured out. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So I'm attaching the shunt to my belly ring here, and I'm also attaching my backup device, my traxion, mini traxion. But now I need this device to stay as high as possible, the main one. So for that, I'm going to just attach it to my chest here as high as possible. And I'm just going to link my sling with just a shoelace, like a very low-tech solution, but it works. And don't freak out, like I said, this part of the setup does not bear any weight. If I fall, all the weight is going to be carried here. The carabiner, my harness, the device itself. But I just want this to follow me as much as possible, to be as high as possible when I'm making progress, so that it doesn't interfere with my backup device. Basically, that's how I'm going to climb. So if I go down, try to show you, and I climb a little bit, so my main device is higher and my backup device is lower. That's it. And if I fall, well, I fall. My shunt is here to catch me, and if my shunt fails, my traction is going to catch me as well. And if when I make it to the top, I'm going to clip myself at the top, and I can rappel down, or I can put away my stuff and hike down. So I think that's it for today. That's basically how I think I'm going to be top rope soloing as soon as I can, as soon as it gets warmer here in Montreal, Canada. It's certainly the case for this video, but it's the same thing that I want to mention for all of my videos. I am not an expert. I am learning every day. I just love climbing so much. It was love at first sight. So I'm figuring out things, and I want to share that to you, share that with you. But by no means am I teaching you something. So I'm not responsible of what you do. And don't take my word for it. Go climb outside with experts. Take classes. Don't take this as the truth, because I'm sure I may be wrong with some details. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like the video. Please don't hesitate to comment. Please share the video. And please, if you like what I do, if you relate to just an average guy that really likes climbing and that wants to share it with the world, please subscribe to the channel. So that's it for now. Bye bye. I'm stuck now.